Reading opens up worlds unknown to kids, an exciting place to stimulate the imagination and grow. Our next guest has found great joy in reading and writing and is hoping to incite that curiosity and love for books with kids. We're happy to be joined by Darick Spears, author and creative and bookstore owner. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. It's so great to be just amongst you, talking to you, and
appreciate that. Well, it's obvious your passion for reading and for writing. It's infectious, and you're wanting to impart that onto kids. Do you find that kids these days are exposed enough to books?
I would say that I would say that they're exposed to a lot of things that they can read, but as far as like books, since we're such in a digital world, everyone's always on their phones and stuff like that. I mean, I don't. They're out there, but I don't know if they value them as much.
Sure.
So they are out there.
Yes, they are. You yourself have written over 100 stories.
Yes, over 100 books. So my bookstore, I definitely wanted the people to get the feel of the real book, the whole. Because I mean, I have my daughters. They come in the house and they have the books, but so a lot of times you see them on the floor and they're more on their phones and computers. I'm like, okay, come on, that's a book,
Right.
Value that.
It's true. I mean, there's a lot of exciting books out there for kids to read, and there are a lot of children out there who really enjoy just diving into a book or to a novel, but there's a lot of that digital interference, if you will. But your acronym for R.E.A.D, it stands for 4 different things, and I kind of want to go through those. So R is resources. So what do you mean by that?
So take advantage of the resources out there. So like I was saying, like a lot of kids may not know that there are a lot of resources out there that libraries or even book clubs, that you could join, even apps that, or magazine, the Week Junior, et cetera, like different places, different things that you could take advantage of that you may not have a clue
sure.
Out there.
And how about energize? E is for energize.
You gotta get it energized. Kids, energy is infectious. So when I go and I talk to kids, I go to school, they can feel my energy and how energized I am about reading or creating something. And then, I find out from teachers when I leave, they're like, they started writing and reading after you left. And I'm like, well, I guess if you're energized about it, they'll feed off that energy and then they'll appreciate it more.
What does the A stand for?
Apps.
And why is that? What kind of apps are out there to get kids reading?
And I found these apps, and I'm like, man, I wish they were around when I was there's an app called Overdrive where you could take your library card and get it linked to Overdrive and have access to all of these books. Mm-hmm. And then there's one called Epic, which is you and your family could actually, it's like an iPad, put on an iPad or whatever, and pay like $7.99 a month,
yes.
and you have access to over 40,000 books.
Sure.
I mean, I wish. Growing up, I didn't have these apps around. So
resources are at their fingertips. They're right there. There's so many ways to access books. And then finally, D is for do, and those are fun book reports. It's one thing to read, but then to remember to put on a page what that story meant to you is extremely important. And that's been your passion too, is notebooks were a source of comfort for you.
And you know what I've noticed? Notebooks were my area of hiding or writing, different things inside of, because you don't have anybody to judge you on it. You could spell something wrong and nobody's looking over your head like, hey, you did that. And now I notice my kids, they carry notebooks around, and other kids that I talk to, or see my story, they start to carry them around, and they understand that it rubbed off. It rubs off. I feel like,
Darick,
I love it.
Where do people find out more information
about me? Well, they find out more at DarickBooks.com.
Okay, perfect.
My first name, Darick, and books.com.
DarickBooks.com. That's where you go to find out more information. Darick, I want to thank you for joining us.
I thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're back after this.